It's happening. You're listening to Jeremiah Wonders. Thanks for coming back, telling your friends, rating on iTunes, listening, reviewing. All that makes a difference. I appreciate all the nice reviews on iTunes. Keep adding to it if you can. Add some more stars. Yeah, I've been liking those stars. People are digging that is now on SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher. Somebody just asked for Spotify. I'll try to make that happen as well. There's so many freaking platforms these days. But I'm going to try to get Jeremiah Wonders in as many places as possible, because you guys keep asking for it. We had some Death Squad fans come out in Boston to come see Pat Reagan, my boy Patty Reagan and I, whenever we headlined the Hideout, and also at Great Scott in Boston. So thank you to the Death Squad, Kill Tony, Jeremiah Wonders supporters out there that came to hang out. We had some fun shows. Pat and I, we showcased for NACA Nationals over the weekend in Boston. We had a pretty good set. We felt good about the set. We had a bunch of colleges come up to us afterwards, but we still don't know if or how many we booked. So hopefully we book some. We have no idea though. We could have booked 0. Which that would be sad, but that's a possibility. You never know with these things. So we're just going to put the best foot forward and hope that we did book some stuff, because that'd be nice to get on the road a little bit more with my boy Patty Reagan. Speaking of your boy, email your boy jeremiahwatkins@gmail.com with any questions, concerns, any requests, or if you just want to say what's up, drop me a note. Say how you doing. Try to hit you back as soon as possible. Our sponsor once again for this podcast is Speedweed. Yeah. What is Speedweed, Jeremiah? Well, it's medical marijuana delivered quickly, safely, and legally. Yes, that's right. They've got high CBDs, hybrids, indicas, non-cannabis, and pet products. Whoa. So check that out. Gino's the man. At Speedweed on Twitter. Look it up, dog. Yeah. Man, it was so cool to meet Pat's dad. And I'd met his mom before. If you've seen our sketches or follow Kill Tony, you know that we have a history together. But they're the coolest. They were so nice, so supportive of Pat and I. We got to stay at their place in Boston. And it was just great. Like it was an awesome weekend, regardless of what happens with the colleges. We'll see, but it was awesome. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Zoltan at NY_Z. He makes the awesome Jeremiah Wonders posters, and he's made a lot of Photoshop designs for me in the past, like during Weight Gain December, and even before that. He's made Tony and I posters whenever we did the Monster Energy Drink tour. Good dude. Check that out. Also, if you've noticed, there's a ton of episodes underneath the Jeremiah Wonders episodes in my feed, which it says The Building Years, and there are a couple hundred episodes. And that is a podcast that I did years ago with my buddy Justin Alexio. And if you are like, man, I need more Jeremiah Wonders, I need more Jeremiah to, get my fix between the weeks, between the Mondays, you can go pretty far back and you can listen to some real struggling episodes of me and my buddy Justin. It's called The Building Years. So we documented the years that we were struggling the most. We hopefully are struggling less and less each year that we do comedy. Some years are better than others, but this is in the midst of, this is before I was past the Comedy Store. This is definitely documenting my journey. Like there's multiple episodes where I cover like showcasing and not getting past there, and you get to hear a real raw side of being a stand-up in the early years of doing and pursuing comedy. So check that out. And my buddy is at Justin Alexio on Twitter and Instagram. He's a really good dude, and I've actually been getting requests to have him on in the future of Jeremiah Wonders, which I absolutely will do that. Today, this episode is freaking dope. Yep, I said it. Erik Griffin. I love Erik Griffin. He was my number one choice to, be on the panel of Kill Jeremiah with me, and it happened. And we talk about that, how much fun we had on that show. Something I got to mention about this episode, this was really funny. So Erik was caught in traffic on the way to us recording this episode at the Comedy Store. And I didn't do the best job explaining like what takes place on this show. So I kind of ambush him a little bit with the phone calls on this show. He was like, he kind of denies like that it's happening, and it's pretty funny. Like I try to peer pressure him into doing impressions and characters throughout the episode, and he will not have it. But in his defense, I didn't prep him very well, but it kind of made for a really fun, different kind of episode. So I hope you enjoy that. And that's about it. Let's get right into this episode. I'm freaking tired from Boston, and I wanted to get this up and out. So I'm recording this like real late, this intro. So yeah, I'll post other shows throughout the week. Follow me on social media if you're not already, at Jeremiah Stand Up on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you once again to the cool peeps that came out and supported Pat and I in Boston. And check out Stand Up on the Spot every second Tuesday of the month, and I'll be giving away more free tickets periodically to that. Thanks so much for listening, and now I present to you Erik Griffin on Jeremiah Wonders. You ready for this?
As early as I'll be coming out of traffic.
I know, you fought traffic on the way here. But now you're freaking here. We're doing this thing. It's already begun. Oh, we doing it. We're doing it big.
Stupid.
Yeah. Erik Griffin in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Freaking on Jeremiah Wonders by popular demand.
What was the popular demand other than you?
It was me. It was a very popular demand of mine that
in the Jeremiah Wonders world. You're the most popular. Okay?
I was bugging Erik to get him on this show. I was like,
yo, God, he was. Jesus Christ.
I felt bad, man.
No, you didn't. I mean, it is what it is. Just timing,
I know.
I'm here all. It's like any person you would ask here at the Comedy Store. For them to be like, well, I'm busy, and then they're here at the Comedy Store, like, doing sets and stuff. It's like, I think you could have done it.
You see him later that evening, you're like, awkward. Yeah, man, I just... in the
hallway.
Yeah, I just gotta get out of here.
Yeah, they're talking in the hallway for an hour, and you're like, we could have possibly done
maybe. I don't know.
Done the podcast then.
You've been a busy man lately, my friend. You just wrapped up with season 1 of I'm Dying Up Here, and you're already filming season 2.
Yeah, we're filming season 2. We already know when it's going to come out, May 6th.
Oh, you already have a release date. That's amazing.
Yeah, May 6th, Showtime. And then I'm also working on a new special. They want me to film a new special, and that so it comes out in June.
That's super exciting.
I know, right?
Yeah. Another Showtime special?
Another Showtime special.
Dude, congrats. You in that Showtime family now, son.
I don't know what that means.
You're part of the family.
It's like going to like juvie or something. I don't know.
Oh, I also forgot to tell you. Believe it. Big part of the show is anybody can call in at any time. So we may have celebrities calling in. We may have characters calling in. Yeah, man, it's
are celebrities gonna call in?
Yeah, they call in right here. So it's pretty interesting.
Characters playing celebrities are gonna call in.
Yeah. So that's exciting. You never know who's gonna call in at any moment. Like somebody could call in. Okay, I think we're actually getting a phone call right now. This is kind of weird that I talked about it and now it's happening.
Is there a ring? I don't hear a ring.
Hello? Is this feminist Stacy?
Oh no.
Wow. How did you get Erik Griffin on the show?
Oh my God! Wait, did you get the rights for feminist Stacy from Tony? Isn't that?
I am owned by no one. I'm a woman. Hear me roar. I'm an independent entity.
I don't like this bitch. I'm
Erik
just telling everybody right now.
Well, guess what? I don't like you. I've been seeing all your Instagram posts.
Mm-hmm. You just jealous? What do you?
I am jealous because you comment, and I've seen some of your DMs about women.
Oh, what
not,
DMs?
Not respectful whatsoever, Erik Griffin.
What DMs have you seen?
I've peeped
Stacey?
on your phone whenever you went on stage at the Comedy Store. You left it on the OR table in front of you, and I jumped on it and crept into your DMs.
What DMs did you hear?
Well, there was this one that you said. You said, "Hey, girl, bring that fat ass over here and sit on my face." Very disrespectful, Erik Griffin.
How's it disrespectful?
Because she did not initiate the message. You hit her up blindly.
So how do I flirt then? How do you flirt with anyone?
Well, just maybe you could give a normal compliment and buy a girl a drink.
Yeah, but if I... Okay, I'm going to take... You know what? We're going to take feminist Stacey's advice. My next DM that goes out to a big booty hoe is going to be, can I take you out for a drink?
Wow, I feel like I've made real progress. Feminist Stacey out.
Wow, I can't believe she sensed that you were on the show and she just called in. I didn't even know that there's a landline here at the Comedy Store to call into the show.
She's a stalker.
I think she secretly is a little obsessed with you.
I think so too. It's really insane.
It's a little insane. But
how's married life for you? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what you want to.
Yeah, you're married now. It's great.
It's actually really good. It's actually super chill now, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much build up and lead up to. I think in a woman's mind, there's so much like, is this going to happen?
I know.
Like from the girlfriend to fiance level, and then from the fiance to wife level, still kinda, is it gonna happen?
Sounds like lyrics to a song, you know.
From
girlfriend to fiance.
From girlfriend to fiance, fiance to wife. I need you, girl, in every part of my life.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Right?
You turned it into a boy band song, but
I did really quickly.
Yeah,
that was my go-to. One of the Instagram questions, which I'm not going to ask you, but it said, "Why is Jeremiah so gay?" I don't know why that was on the questions that I asked.
And why would I know?
Why would you know that?
You know, we fucked one time.
One time.
You know what I mean? One time, and now we're gay.
I got a Reno gig out of it, and that was it.
You know what I mean? Oh, God, what a horrible gig that was.
Dude, that was a weird... Eric and I... This is like... Man, was that like 4 years ago now?
I don't think it was that long.
3 years ago.
Maybe 2.
No, it was at least 3 years ago.
Why?
Huh?
Well, okay.
It's 2018 now.
It's February, okay? You're like, it's 2018. It doesn't count as a full year yet.
Okay.
Oh, my God. You're one of those.
We had what?
You and you're like, ETA, bro.
Dude, Eric.
8 people that say ETA. It's like, you're not a Navy SEAL, man.
He called me G.I. Jane in the text exchange. Whenever I asked him, he's like, traffic, bro. And I was just like, ETA? And he goes, what? Are you G.I. Jane? I'll be there soon. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but anyways, Reno shit gig. What's another, do we have any better?
Oh, we'll get to the fan questions in a little bit. I'm just, dude. We're just. You mean you're just?
We're just shooting this shit.
We're just shooting it right now. It's happening.
I really enjoyed Kill Jeremiah.
Dude, that was so fun.
Is that coming back? Like, what's the deal?
Dude, it might get picked up for another season. We'll see.
Wait, a season?
Okay, another episode.
A
spin-off.
A little bit.
A spin-off episode. Do you know what's funny?
Are you going to be like the Jeffersons to his All in the Family? That's what's gonna happen?
Exactly. I just start putting out my own podcast called Kill Jeremiah. You know what was like? People were like, was it worth it to gain 30 pounds in a month to host one episode of Tony's podcast? And I say absolutely. Because how underneath his skin I got was
worth it.
Priceless. If you like, for how long I've been friends with him and how long I've known him, I was like, this is the ultimate payoff.
I saw his face. It was great.
Dude, it was, you never see him shook like that, right? And he was like stirring in his seat. Just like,
I don't know if it was worth your health, but you got back to it real fast.
I lost 17 of the 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're like how old?
29.
Yeah. Well, you do it. Don't ever do that again.
I know. Everybody's
At
like, it's good that you're doing it now.
Yeah. At 30, your body's gonna be like, motherfucker, please.
Yeah, right. We're not bouncing back.
Yeah, we bouncing forward.
Yeah, bouncing forward. Plop, plop, plop. So I'm dying up here. Let's talk that for a second. You had to do some pretty real, like, sincere acting, like some true acting for that role, which is,
who knew?
For me, I know, right? Which is me, and I think for a lot of people it was really enjoyable because coming from seeing you on a show like Workaholics, where you play
a buffoon,
Montez. I mean, what was that switch like? Because like in your initial audition for the show, I know that they came out. Some of the producers came out to see you at the store.
Well, I remember the first audition was like it's comedic, but then the note was like, well, we know you could be funny. We just like to see a different range in this thing, and so I got what they meant. I find that the serious is actually easier than comedy. You know, it actually, because like to be funny is so layered. Like, why is something funny?
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people don't realize it's the reaction of someone else. It could possibly be the reaction of someone else watching someone do something that's not funny at all. But that reaction of someone, you know, that's what's funny. I mean, it's sort of like what an audience does with a comedian, right? You know, 'cause sometimes a comedian can go up and he's yelling like a Sam Kinison or something, or someone's yelling and hollering and just stand alone. That's not necessarily funny, but watching somebody do that, whatever happens in between there sometimes becomes the funny. I mean, it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes people think doing something funny is what's funny, but it's not necessarily. So there's so many layers to funny, but like an emotion, like just being in a moment of something, if you can get in contact with that, I think it's a little easier.
You gave me a great note, actually, when we were doing that gig in Reno that I remember, is you would give me tags some nights after you watched my set or whatever, but you gave me this note. You, on one of my bits, you go, why do you think that is funny? And I kind of gave the wrong answer, if I recall correctly. And you're like, no, that's not why that's funny. It's because of the relationship. And then you like went down the thing. And one of the things you told me is like, something that you need to figure out is like, you're doing a lot of funny things on stage, but I don't think you know why they're funny.
I maintain it. That's an important thing.
It's a very important thing.
Because once you just get in touch with that, then you go down this rabbit hole of like, oh wow, this is connected to that, and this is connected to this, and this is what this is why people are laughing. Because sometimes people just don't know why. You don't need the people to necessarily agree with you, but you at least have to know why it's funny. Because then they might even see you experiencing why something is funny, and that's why they laugh.
Yeah.
Whew, that's a lot of math,
it's
right?
A lot.
But that's what comedy is. It's so layered. So, you're doing a scene that's like, you're supposed to be upset, okay, well, you're upset. You just need to know why you're upset, and then you're upset, and that could be conveyed in your acting. But to make people laugh abstractly, like, because, what's great about doing stand-up is like the audience is there. So if I do something, I initially get some laughter. So I go, okay, well, that worked. Great. But when you're doing like a scene, and let's say this scene is supposed to be funny to the people watching, you don't even know.
Right.
So what are you supposed,
Or on the flip side, if you're being directed in a serious scene, you kind of, like, coming from a stand-up background, I can think that you would probably want some kind of feedback right after from a director or somebody on set being like, yo, how was that take? Like, was that, because we're so used to instant feedback
it's a whole
with stand-up.
Different thing. It's crazy.
Do you like being on set, though? And do you like...
Yeah, it's all different. I mean, it's a whole different animal. I enjoy stand-up. Stand-up will always be a love of mine, and I enjoy being on set. I enjoy, taking people's words, and, like, I love all the different takes you get. You could do it differently.
Yeah.
I like getting real. I like getting a note from a director that's like, hey, do it this way. And
Right.
Like, ooh, it's like a challenge.
I think that's probably the best thing about acting is the multiple takes thing, because sometimes if you do a joke and you're like, oh man, if I would have said it like this, like you,
I know, it'd be
you
great
can't
as a stand-up.
reset. Yeah.
Yeah, we go. We're gonna reset that.
We're gonna can we reset the audience real quick? I'm just gonna do another take. I'm gonna
Different
reset on
angle.
that joke.
You
Yeah.
know, then it's like, oh, you did it that time, but you don't get that. That's the difference.
That luxury.
Yeah, that's why a show like SNL, for instance, like if you could be on right then and there, pow. Some people just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's a completely
You watch
different
that
skill
show and
set
you just
for a lot
go,
of people. Well, you see with some of the newer cast members, like
They're
when
having
they
trouble.
hire, they either have it
They
or they
don't,
just
yeah.
don't. You're just like, oh, this is why people get canned sometimes pretty
Yeah,
quickly
yeah,
because you see it right away, like who's taking
quick on
to
the fly
water.
too. It's like quick. You can tell that when they're reading the prompter, it's like, oh, they just changed
Yeah.
this.
Why are they squinting right now?
Yeah,
like
it's like-
focusing in on
And
the...
it's funny how it feels like they're changing it like right then and there. Like the teleprompter guy is just writing the lines as they.
Well, they still use cue cards on that
God.
show.
Crazy.
So they will, a lot of times, between dress rehearsal and the actual live show, they'll be changing out jokes on the cue card. So a lot of times they are reading it for the first time, which is kind of crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that show
Like an
is-
Olympic event.
It totally is. I mean, that's why, like, I feel like some hosts, like, that are really big, like, there's been a handful of hosts that are big, like, movie stars that won't do SNL. I think because they have too much to lose,
Yeah.
Like a Brad Pitt or like a Will Smith or somebody like at that level, they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I like my takes. Why?
It's a different skill set.
It's a different skill set.
So why go look stupid in a different skill set?
Yeah. Now you worked on a very popular show before that, Workaholics.
Ooh. I know. Good old Workaholics.
Man. Now, how long? I guess this is just a question. How long have you had your mustache? Because
Forever. Just
you've always had it.
yeah. I didn't grow it for a show. No, this is.
It's you.
It's just a little thicker now because I'm doing a 70s show.
Right.
So right now it's going
It's
to
a
be
little bit more pronounced.
Yeah, it's going to be
yeah.
It's extra Tom Selleck right now.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of the show. But other than that, like I've always had a mustache.
Whenever you're a teenager, were you trying to grow it out?
No, it just was there.
It just showed up one day. You
can I
woke
tell
up
you
with-
something?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember the time I didn't have a mustache. Like that's how long I've had this mustache. I don't.
Have you had to shave it at any time for a role?
I don't. It's
while
like
you've
I
been
don't.
working.
I don't remember like whatever you would call that before mustache. BM. I don't. There's no. I don't remember BM before mustache. I don't remember those
like
times.
the way. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like the way Christ
Yeah.
his timeline.
Yeah.
Before mustache, after mustache.
Yeah. So I don't. I always. And then that, it is what it is, like that. But Workaholics was like, that was a fun experience to be a part of something that like, it's like it's people's favorite show.
Yeah.
Like it's not like just some regular random show on NBC or something, and people, it just goes away after 2 or 3 seasons. No, this is one of these things that was like, this is people's favorite, like their religion. They know all the lines. They know. It's crazy to be a part of something like that. So I always cherish it.
There was a lot of smoothie questions
Jesus Christ.
that were being asked online. I'll avoid those, but wouldn't it be crazy if Montez called in right now to the show? I think
he's not going to. I don't think he's going to go.
I think so.
No. I don't think he's.
No, I'm pretty sure the
pretty-
phone is ringing.
I'm pretty-
right there.
I don't think so.
I think Montez is that you? Hello,
No, it's not him.
Eric. Quit interrupting. Montez is calling into the show. He's right over. I can almost hear him right now.
He's not here.
Montez, I just had you for a quick second. Can I ask you a few questions?
Oh my God.
Just right. I think he's right there. I just had him a second ago. Montez, is this you?
No, it's not him.
Montez, why are you playing? Why are you playing like that?
Can we talk to feminist Stacy again? I think that was a better.
I mean,
she put me on the spot.
She might call me. I mean, that's what this show is. You don't know what's gonna happen.
That's good peer pressure too. No,
I could have swore that
other mic next to you.
That other mic,
he's there.
I think he is calling. You know what? He might warm up to the idea a little bit later in the show. He might call. He
might.
I'm not
I don't
making
know
any
if Comedy
promises.
Central will allow it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a cease and desist.
Yeah, they hit up Jeremiah Wonders. They're like, you cannot air this content. We own it.
I do, but that damn smoothie thing is so ridiculous.
Dude.
Just one, and that was just an ad lib, just like a.
That's the best. Whenever I hear those stories.
No, because it's just like I'm supposed to say. The line is white folks love smoothies. Okay, so I just said it like that. I just wanted to say smoothies, and then Adam in true form is like, "What did you say?" Smoothies,
Yeah,
like he went with it, and that's the kind of stuff that happened on the show. Then after that, it was just like, oh my god.
Have people ever brought you a smoothie?
No,
at
but I
shows?
get anytime people are buying a smoothie, I get Instagram messages, videos. Look, it's true. White folks love smoothies. It's like, oh, that's great.
That whole thing.
So awesome after 100 times.
Yeah.
It's really awesome that white folks love smoothies.
We really do.
I know. It's like, so I got a lot of that. All the little crazy lines.
I think we're actually getting we're getting a phone call right now.
There's no ring.
No, hey man, I don't know if you
Is
don't
this
hear
gonna
that.
come in post?
It's coming into my headphones right now.
It's in your head.
It's in my headphones.
Okay,
I don't know if it ever.
All right, now I can suspend my disbelief.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not. Maybe it's not in your monitor.
No, it's not in my monitor.
Okay, well,
okay.
it is in my earphones right now.
Now it makes sense.
I don't know. I don't even know if on the podcast a ring even shows up. Actually, come to think of it, I think that the people just kind of are jumped in.
You can't just all of a sudden go, "Oh, we're getting a phone call," and I'm like, "Okay,
I think we are though.
Is it on silent?
No, this guy's been on hold for a little bit.
Oh, he's on hold.
I'm gonna patch him through.
Okay.
Hey, this is Erik Griffin. Hey man, I'm a huge fan of you, but a bigger fan of your mustache.
Who is this?
This is Tad.
Tad?
Yeah, it's Tad.
Hello, Tad.
Yeah, hey, what's up, dude?
Are you a big fan of Jeremiah Wonders?
I hate that show, but I love Erik Griffin.
Then how did you get the number?
Dude, he's so obnoxious with his posting online. Like, I got it that way.
Also, he posted the phone number?
He posted the phone number to the show.
Okay. And did it ring? Was there like a...
No, it kind of just passed right through. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, there wasn't even an operator?
No.
Nobody even put you on hold?
No, they can't afford that on the show.
So it was just ringing and ringing and ringing?
And then all of a sudden, I was here.
Okay, well, because it's a new podcast.
It is a new podcast.
So eventually they're going to get like a producer and staff.
I mean, I hope so. There's literally nobody in that booth over there.
There's no one in the booth. It's just him and I.
Can you imagine if this wasn't even recording and we're just two crazy people?
Well, is it recording? Now you're making me...
It is recording.
Sorry I even brought that up. I think
Yeah, you made us nervous.
He did, Tad. You did make us a little bit nervous.
Sorry, guys. One big question. Do you use any products for your mustache or anything? It's so beautiful. It's so big.
Yeah, I use like a nice wax to make it, like a conditioner, so it's not too coarse.
Oh, for the ladies.
Well, I offer a few rides every now and then.
Oh, wow.
Come on, ride it. Ride it.
Come on.
You know that Tad knows that song.
Dude, I'm a big fan of the Choo Choo Train. Anyway, big fan of you, even bigger fan of your mustache. Hope all is well with Showtime Season 2 of I'm Dying Up Here.
There's actually a Twitter account that someone made called Erik Griffin's Mustache.
Yeah, I run it.
There it is. I knew it.
Actually, I can't believe you're shouting that out for me, but this is a really big deal that you're plugging the official Twitter account for Erik Griffin's Mustache. So, thanks for your time.
Bye, Tad.
Wow, so that was pretty cool.
Now, my question is, are the mics different?
If we want to get behind the podcast,
like if I come over here,
hello, caller. Hello, who is that over there?
No, it's not a caller.
No,
It's
that's
just me.
No, that's What's your name?
Is this the caller mic?
No,
No,
that yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's Eric.
Wait, how did you patch into the? How are you calling in right now?
I just leaned over to the other mic and called. This is a quick. This is me here.
Wow,
This is me here.
really breaking down the fourth wall of this show. Really.
You can't surprise me with. I didn't know what was going on.
No, it's all good. But yeah, basically, you could call. I mean, somebody could call in at any moment on that mic. So I was trying to get Montez on the.
I hear he's on vacation.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's in Bermuda or something like that.
Bermuda.
Spending all that workaholics money.
Well, good for him.
So he's actually having to work because it wasn't a lot of workaholics money. So he's actually running a coffee stand in Bermuda.
In Bermuda. So a lot of people don't know this about you. I found this pretty fascinating whenever I talked with the old talent coordinator. He told me this, is that you used to be a teacher.
Well, sort of. Yeah, I worked at a school, and I just had a different life plan. I just didn't think that being a comedian or an actor was going to be possible. I'm from LA, so when you're from LA, you actually don't know how to get in. You just see
it happening all around you.
You see the glitz and glamour, and you're just like, how do you get into that? So I just had a whole different life plan, and I just didn't want to wake up one day and be like, damn, why didn't I make an effort? Why didn't I try?
Yeah.
So
were you
like
one of the funny guys in your classes?
Yeah, I was always funny, and I always and then it was like when I was like 22 was when I took a class at UCLA Extension for stand up, and that was the first time I had like the bug for it. But at the time, I didn't know what to do. After that, I remember like the showcase, the class graduation for the class was here at the Comedy Store in the OR.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the first time I ever performed stand-up was in the OR.
That's kind of crazy.
I know. It's so long ago. And I just, I was like, oh, this is it. I want to do, because it's just like, whoa, what a feeling, I was like, I got to do this. But I didn't know what to do. So that's why it took 8 years later before I actually started to try to be a comic.
So were you teaching that whole time?
Yeah, I was working. I was going to school. At that time when I first started, I was still in college, and then I started working, and then I started working at the school, and then I was working in the library. I was working with computers. I was coaching basketball. I was just doing all kinds of things, and at the same time, I started going to like Mount St. Mary's to finish schooling, because I was like, okay, this is what my life's gonna be. But then I was like, nah, this is not a good. This is not what I want to do.
Right.
So here I am.
So Mount St. Mary's was Catholic school, right?
Yeah. But they have like it's a women's college.
Okay.
But they have an adult program on the weekends. So they have a weekend, so you can get like weekend credits, because I didn't finish when I was younger. I hated school. It wasn't until I was an adult that I was like, oh, this is great. I love learning. One day I feel like if I have the last job I'll ever need and I know that I'm set, then I'll be like, oh, I want to go to school. I'll probably do that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Why not? Take advantage of everything.
Yeah.
But
wow.
yeah, so I had a whole different.
So you taught at Mount St. Mary's, or were
no,
you taking classes?
No. I was taking classes.
Okay, taking classes. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so then I just because like I said, I didn't know what to do. Oh my god, you had to go to open mics. Like open mics were so weird, and like they were all over the city.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and then you see the same people there every single time, and
were there any
no
other
improvement.
It's scary sometimes.
Yeah, I just didn't know what to do. Then I didn't understand the work ethic. I didn't understand like anything about it when I was younger.
Were there any guys that you remember from those open mics that made it out of there that you?
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy, Jim Gaffigan. There was a lot more. There was just
But those were a couple that stuck out.
Those are a couple that stuck out to me that I remember.
That you remember like, oh wait.
and then I stopped. And then some years later I'm coming back, and then I go, oh, that's the guy that was living on somebody's couch as a movie star.
Yeah.
That was another reason why I was like, oh, I probably should have stuck with it.
Right.
But even that's like a weird thing to even think, But that's what everyone thinks. That's why you get into the entertainment, because everybody thinks they're going to be a star.
I mean, we all have to be a little bit delusional to get into this field.
I think it's the only way.
I mean, yeah, you can't. If you're a realist,
yeah,
then it's like,
then you're gonna be like, why would you even go to an audition?
Yeah, why the chances of you even booking it, like mathematically, this does not make sense at all.
Ugh, you don't want to be that guy.
No.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I did that. I remember getting a commercial agent when I got back into it, and then I did like a few commercials. And it was
your commercial agent had to be happy because mustaches bring bookings, especially in that commercial world.
I've done some pretty funny commercials. Yeah, I remember the first commercial I ever did was I don't even remember what it was for. But I remember getting there. The call time was like 9:00 in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And we were in this little trailer, and I was like, "Oh, wow!" And they didn't even call us in yet. And then they had like lunch, a couple hours later, lunch, and I was like, "Oh shit!" They had shark, and yeah, it was like this like setup where I was like, "Oh my god, this is great." Then after lunch, get ready. Then it was like 45 minutes of shooting, and then they were like, "Thanks for coming. Please sign out." And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is what I want to do." And that was like, yeah.
The first commercial that I booked, whenever I literally had not been on enough sets because I had only done like background work and stuff. So the first
commercial, I can't even believe you did that.
Oh yeah,
it's rare that people that do background actually try to
move past it.
Yeah. It's a weird.
Dude, that is a weird world.
Yeah, it's weirdos.
With you think that people who are pursuing acting are delusional?
Oh yeah,
background people are on a whole nother level.
They're on a whole
every day they're on the lookout. They're like, I think I might get bumped up today, and I'm just like looking at it like, no,
yeah, but
it's not gonna happen.
I'm not even talking about those people. Those are lazy people, okay, that are trying to get bumped up at a commercial. Those are just lazy people because they have that. That's not even delusional. It's these there's people that I don't know what they're doing there. Like they're just insane. They'll bring guitars and like they're
trying to entertain.
Yeah, there's a weirdness. So I just go, oh, you don't really want to be an actor then.
Yeah,
this person doesn't. Just some people I go, that person really doesn't want to be an actor. They literally enjoy doing this,
right?
And then you know the people that are sad. You can see them. There's sad people there too. They just look sad.
There's a depression that goes
deep
because
it's like after. Okay, I remember doing this other commercial. It was non-union, and like it was 2 days. So the first day we got there, it was all like talent. That's how they were calling us. We need the talent over here. Day 2, background. Then it was like we were just background.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I knew I was like, oh, I'm never gonna do this. Because there is a clear.
Oh man,
they treat these people like this.
Oh, of course, it's the most segregated you can get. You eat over here, your water's over here.
Yeah, it was like it's such a weird ecosystem on a set.
Yeah, so I'd been doing background work. So the first time that I booked like a national commercial, like they had like all this amazing food and they had steak and all this great crafty, and I like looked at somebody and I was like, is this for us? They're like, yeah, man, of course.
You're like your first time.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
I know.
And like the burrito trucks or whatever, and I was like, do we have to pay for that?
Yeah, no, you're like looking for your wallet.
I know.
So how much do I owe you?
And they're like, no, you're good. Like, this is the coolest job ever.
No, my thing was like my first like say big time acting gig or whatever, and then they're like, you're on the set, and they go, I was like, well, can I get something to eat? They go, just go to the truck, just ask for whatever you want. And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
yeah. What do you say? Yeah, just go over there, just ask them for especially breakfast. Breakfast, literally, whatever you want, any kind of breakfast thing you get.
It's ridiculous.
So I just go French toast with avocado and eggs. Coming up, and I was like, oh shit.
Could I get a blowjob?
I know you
start thinking of other things. You're like, no, that's not how.
Chocolate bar. It just was amazing. So that's a weird world, but that's like that's what I want to do forever.
Very weird world. Well, there's a bunch of really good questions I want to get to, so let's get into this next segment called Fanning Out.
Fanning Out. Questions from fans.
So.
Are we going to a fan or something?
In post, I'll add a little. But a new theme of fanning out.
Yeah, that might be it.
Which I have to bring up a a dope memory that I have with you was whenever we were in Montreal earlier this summer, in front of thousands of people outside during the goddamn Comedy Jam. Erik sang Careless Whisper. He sang Careless Whisper, and I played sax on it in front of thousands of French Canadian people, English people, like people of all. Just this concert style. And if you watch any of Erik's specials, you know he can sing, but like he was on another level that night. It was like Aretha Franklin's like, this is my moment.
Why does it gotta be Aretha Franklin?
I don't know. Because you got pipes.
Why do I gotta be a fat black woman? Of all the people you could have chosen.
No, I just thought of like somebody powerful.
You could have even said George Michael. No.
He embodied George. No, actually, scratch that. He embodied Aretha Franklin.
God.
That was dope, though.
Yeah, that was fun. But like I had to tell, what's his name? I said, that's it for that song.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Erik and I had already done it multiple times.
That was the third time.
We retired it.
Is it? Yeah. We had that song.
But, I mean, we ended it on a high note, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But that was great, though. Everybody had fun. That was such a fun.
Yeah. You said that your mom was even impressed by that
video.
my
mom was like, no, because she said, because my mom mentioned you, because she don't know anything, you know? So she's like, oh, Jeremiah Watkins. Look at my son with Jeremiah Watkins. And I was like, Mom, that's not.
Like, Mom,
I was like, never mind.
Mom, he's with me. You're phrasing that all wrong, Mom. Okay, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not with him.
Yeah.
He opens for me on the road.
Yeah, this is like John Lennon's mom going like, you know, my son's with Ringo.
Can you believe it?
My son's with Ringo.
That's so fun.
Yeah, but that was the great times.
It was so fun. This question comes from on Instagram. What was your favorite part of working on season 1 of I'm Dying Up Here? Any Jim Carrey stories? At Randman524.
Well, my favorite part was doing the dramatic stuff, like just being asked to do that. So that was very challenging. So I enjoyed that. And I remember here's something with Jim Carrey. Like we had our first table read. You know, so there's all these people, and it was great because, like, at that time, Alfred Molina was in the pilot.
Oh, really?
Yes,
who was he playing?
He was playing the manager at first, but then he had to leave the show. So Alfred Molina's on there, and then Sebastian Stan, you know, they were sitting next to me on either side at the table read. So I was like, yes, I felt like I was in a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? Because I got Dr. Octopus and, Winter Soldier right next to me. You know, so, but anyway, we're walking out, and we're standing with Jim Carrey. We're walking, and at the same time, there was a tour of the Sony lot going on. So this guy is giving this nerdy tour, you know, and he's like, well, you know, over here in 1912, that's the building, blah, 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 and then these people, and then he looks, and he goes, and he says, and there's Jim Carrey, you know, and then everybody was like, you know, and then Jim's great. Like, he literally, once he saw that happening, he went right over to the tour. You know, he went over there and he was like being himself.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And that's just how he is. He told me himself, he said he loves getting on, like, if he sees one of those buses and they see him, he'll get on the bus and, you know. Like, he's just that guy.
That's so fun.
So he's just a fun dude. But it was fun hearing his stories also. That's another great thing about season 1.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure, like, the stuff behind the cameras was just hanging out, like, hearing his
Well, we went to dinner. We had this dinner with the Showtime executives and Jim Carrey. And, you know, he stood up and he told, like, an hour-long story just about his home, you know, coming here from Canada, you know, Kinnison and, you know, all those people at the time going to Cantor's and all that. It was a whole different world.
Isn't it weird that as comics, like, we still go to, like, the delis and Cantors and stuff? Like,
I know.
It's so
I think
bizarre.
like it's Swingers is gonna be our
Yeah. It's so weird though to watch, like, for being in this current time as a stand-up, and then you're playing another generation.
I know, and still going to the same.
Still like
we're still going to Green Blacks. We're still going to yeah.
It's so bizarre.
But that was season 1's fun stuff.
That's awesome. I saw you guys do that panel in Montreal. That was really cool. Santino put me and Avery Pearson on his guest list to go see you guys.
Yeah, it was crazy
panel.
how many people were there, right?
There was a ton of people.
Yeah, because they were there to see him.
And by the way, the people, I'm not going to knock anybody who did the panel, but it was very clear who performs live.
I know.
Because you and Santino were killing it, and I saw some people, man.
Yeah, because they didn't, you know what, if we had to do that again, something like that again, I would make sure to be big and funny, because what I didn't know is they charged people to come in to see that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that. They charged people to come see that.
Yeah.
And so it's a Q&A, and we're supposed to be fun and entertaining and all this but they're actors. They wanted to talk about,
of course. They want the
acting
process
and
yes.
and all that nonsense.
But Jim did a really good balance of, I mean, he's Jim Carrey, but of giving the audience those little glimpses of zany moments, but then also saying like this stuff. He would turn the audience where people are just like almost crying and like while they're watching, clapping.
Yeah, they're like, he's crazy.
He's masterful.
We love him.
Yeah. Do you have any ghost stories at Miles_Brasitis?
Ghost stories?
Ghost stories.
Not really. Even as a kid, I was always a skeptic about that kind of stuff. Because I always because something had happened one time where I thought I was a little kid. My mom wasn't home. She had to work, and I heard a noise, and I thought it was something. I remember grabbing like my little plastic baseball bat and then I just like, who's that there? But then when I went to the back, I found out that it was just like, a window. So I always know that anytime I see something that I think, oh my God, what was that? I always do the exact same move I just did and then really analyze. Oftentimes you'll see what it is. It's not what you think. There's no ghosts. There's no,
I think we're getting a call.
Oh, God.
Hello?
Merrick?
Eric.
Oh, okay. I've never corrected a ghost before.
Is this the ghost that was haunting Eric as a child?
Eric.
Was that you?
The night that you grabbed your little baseball bat, it was actually me lingering in your household.
Where have you been these past 35 years?
I've actually been trying to contact you. I've noticed that you're very successful now, and I was hoping to possibly get a part in this new season of I'm Dying Up Here.
I didn't know that ghosts listen to podcasts.
We have a lot of spare time on our ghost hands.
I'm just surprised that you called in and you didn't just come to haunt where we're doing this.
I didn't want to intrude. You are a star now. Before, whenever you were a child, I could prey on you because you were innocent and had not much going for you.
Oh my God! Wow, that's a harsh comment from the ghost.
I'm sorry, but I am an LA ghost. You were born and raised in Los Angeles.
You're an LA ghost?
By the way, I do have a headshot that I could drop off to you a little bit later if you're okay with that.
That would be great. I would love to see your reel.
Oh, well, it has holes in it, but it's good. It's solid in some moments, more spooky in others.
Okay, thank you.
We just lost, we lost connection. Did you bring a Ouija board in here? I don't know how we conjured a ghost.
Like, how crazy would it be for a ghost to have like a headshot with dressed as a mailman,
right. It's just like
those dumb headshots you used to have. You'd be
all the different looks.
I'm a doctor,
construction worker.
Yeah.
You just see like gloves that are like filled out, but nothing's underneath inside them.
Oh man.
Oh man. What is the weirdest pitch that Adam asked you to do on the show at @andrizzle_Jones on Instagram?
Well,
that did or did not go. They end up making the cut, I guess.
Everything was weird. I guess the weird moment for me was when it was the Future is Nar episode, and I was dressed like Bane. I was my head was a bald cap, and so the scene is Adam's supposed to run around the corner and see me and tackle me. So that was the pitch. They were like, okay, well, Adam's gonna come around and tackle me. No stunt talk.
No throw pads or anything like that. Yeah.
He comes barreling around and full on, right in the gut, just slams me into this thing. It was crazy. The only thing the stunt guy said was, hey, just make sure you breathe out. And I was like, hey, this guy's a little bulldog.
Yeah.
So.
He's thick.
Yeah, he's a thick little bastard.
I think we actually... Is Bane
oh, no,
calling in?
No, he's not.
I think Bane... No, this is... I cannot believe this. This is... 2 people are calling in at once right now. Yes, they are.
I can't hear in my.
I'm telling you, it's ringing in my ears right now. Alfred, the butler from The Dark Knight, and Bane are calling in right now.
So Michael Caine is calling.
Michael Caine is calling, and Bane is calling right now.
Oh my God, Bane, we meet again. I can't believe you call in on Jeremiah Wonders.
I can't even do it.
No, Bane, are you there?
Bane, is that you? Show yourself.
It's not me, Alfred.
Then who is it? You tell me who that is. You're threatening to blow up Gotham City, and I just not appreciate it.
Okay, I have a question for Michael Caine.
Oh, Eric, you do? Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yes, Erik Griffin, big fan. What would you like to ask me?
Yeah, Gotham. So you still live in Gotham City?
I live in Gotham City right now. Absolutely.
So, you live in a fictional place?
I don't know what you're talking about. I live in a very real mansion, 4 walls around me, and I live right above a bat cave.
Where is Gotham City?
Well, it's near Chicago.
Is it?
It actually is. It's somewhere between, Chicago and New York City.
It's between Chicago and New York City.
Yes, big buildings, skyscrapers, stuff like that.
Oh my God!
Do you have any other questions for me? I want to get Bane. I cannot believe Bane.
I don't think Bane
has been ghosting me like this. Bane, show yourself.
I think Bane left.
No.
Bane, will you please get back on the phone? Alfred really wants. Alfred really wants to talk to you right now.
Bane, is that you?
I don't even.
I think Bane almost. Yeah. Well, hello, Bane.
Hello.
Bane, why do you want to blow the city up that I love the most? How could you do that to everyone that lives in the city, including me and Batman?
Michael Caine, I told you to stop calling me.
Listen, I have your personal number, and I will keep ringing that phone off the hooks until you stand down. I know you were born in darkness.
You know, I gotta say this Michael Caine has come a long way, I think.
Thank you. I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate it very much.
Wait, does Michael Caine appreciate it, or what do you have to say about that, Jeremiah?
I think that Michael Caine, who plays Alfred, this is getting really meta, but Michael Caine, who plays Alfred, who is in the Dark Knight trilogy, I think it's a pretty spot on.
Pretty spot on?
Pretty spot on. I think he's doing himself very well.
Is it a pretty spot on Alfred?
Yeah, I think so. And that Bane is pretty good. Bane, did you have...
No, he's gone!
Okay, he's gone. I guess...
gone!
Okay.
Damn it! You're the worst.
My favorite part of that is you saying "I hate you" mid while leaning over to the other mic. Between mics. I hate you. Just got a couple more questions.
Please. Why is it so hot in here?
It gets a little stuffy in here.
Yeah.
This is from @Jimmy James. That's a real Twitter handle. If the Clippers ever win the championship, who are you watching it with?
Probably my sex doll, because that's how long it's going to take
for the Clippers to actually win a title.
Yeah, my futuristic, Yeah, I realize I'm a real Clipper fan because I'm not even thinking about the championship. I just want them to play hard and be entertaining.
Okay.
But, God, who knows? My kids, maybe, and I don't even have kids, so that's how long, they're a ways away.
That's a real fan. Acknowledging and knowing it's going to take a while, but still being
take a while.
It's going to happen.
I just want them to play hard and be entertaining. That's all that I need. And then it's fun.
This is from @AB3 Comedy on Twitter. How do you fight off all that pussy with that mustache?
It's it's not a lot of fighting, but I do all right.
Oh, I see you out there.
I do all right.
I do all right.
I think people that it's just you have to go for people that like mustaches. Because there are some people that are like, I would never date anybody with a mustache.
Isn't that weird? It's like there's sometimes a line, but then there's those
there's
fetish girls.
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, is that a mustache?
Well, I don't think it's a fetish. I don't think
I don't know.
mustaches are fetishes.
I mean, I think they can be.
Oh my God, I hate you.
I think we're getting a call.
Oh no, we're not getting.
Okay, I guess we're not. That's weird. I heard it for a second and then it cut out as soon as you said no. Well, I think this will bring us to our final segment.
Okay.
Sax Talk.
Oh, Sax Talk.
So basically, during this segment, I told you, is you're going to tell the audience a story of a sexual encounter, and I'm going to play some sweet, sweet sax underneath. Spice it up.
Let's see. I think my first real sexual encounter, I was in the 7th grade. It was 7th grade, and her name was Nancy. And we had a project that we had to do. And you would think that this wouldn't happen, but her mom left us alone. And we didn't know what we were doing. And it probably actually was a Me Too moment. Wah, wah. No, because, I was like 12 or 13, whatever how old I was. And, one thing I do remember about her, she had big old titties for her age. And at that time, too, she was stronger than me. You know what I mean? So she was like wrestling with me. And then I just remember rubbing up against her and then just having an explosive orgasm. But here's the thing though, I didn't get inside her, and if I didn't know what I was doing. Can you imagine? I would have gone inside her and then just. But instead, it was just all over her, and she was just like, "What? Ew, what is that?" And then we didn't finish the project. We had to get new partners. That's the one thing I remember. But I do remember how strange it was that our mom left us alone, as if I wasn't a threat. And I almost got it. So Nancy, if you're out there, hello. Jeremiah Watkins on sax, everybody.
Erik Griffin on sax, everybody.
I do remember that we were wrestling. It was a really strange experience.
Wrestling, basically, you came.
No, because we were wrestling, and then I was on her. Then I started I was humping
dry
her,
humping.
Yeah, dry humping her, and then thinking well, where does it go?
Right.
And then I just couldn't even, I just
right in the pants.
Yeah, just right on her. You know what I mean?
Oh, right on her.
Yeah.
Wait, so you were dry humping but naked?
Not naked. There was pants
shorts?
were pulled down,
Okay.
shorts.
Yeah.
Bra was pulled up. I don't think I think we were too nervous to get completely naked because at any time her mom could have just bursted back, came home, and then we had to find clothes. We didn't even know what we were doing. Just so young and stupid.
Right.
Sex education is important. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
As soon as possible. Even at a young age, you should know this is what happens. This is how it works because they don't know. As kids, we get into these situations and we're like, what do you do? Where do I put this?
Yeah.
And then girls are like, I don't know, put it here. And then next thing you know.
Oh, something's happening.
Yeah. I'm having a baby at 14 years old.
That's so you actually got cum on her?
Yeah.
What was her like?
She
she didn't know what it was?
Yeah, she was like,
what is this?
Yeah, she remember going like, oh, what is that? And it's smelling it and stuff. And I was like, and I just I don't know what that is. Horrible sex story, but that's a real one.
That's perfect for Sax Talk. Couldn't get any better.
Couldn't get any worse better.
I think that's the youngest sax story that we have. We got to wrap up. I know that you got a spot over at
I got so many damn spots
the
tonight,
Improv.
too.
Such a problem. I'm so wanted.
So many spawns.
There's so many spawns. At Erik Griffin on social media. Do you want to plug anything else coming up?
Just May 6th, I'm dying up here. Please tell 75,000 of your favorite friends to watch the show. The more people that watch it, the better. So we can maybe hopefully get a third season. It's going to come on after Billions, which is going to help. And we'll see.
I'm hoping they bring that prop comic character back.
Oh, that's right. You almost made it onto the show.
No, I was so close.
You weren't even in the background of the. I don't remember.
No, because that's what the problem was. In the script, it said appendage or whatever. So they added the scene and then they removed it once because it was a scene where Santino was talking with an agent.
Right, I remember.
Yeah, and I was on stage
You're supposed
doing
to be on
my
stage,
act.
yeah.
But I think contrasted a little bit too much because with the 5 minutes that I put together, with Jerron Horton, it was really prop heavy and pretty zany and out there. So I think that if they would have cut to it, they would have been like, "Oh, this tonally does not match at all."
Oh, did you ever get to see the footage?
No, I want to see the footage
what?
so bad.
I'm gonna ask about that, and I'll see what I could do.
Dude, that'd be amazing. I was just pumped to see
Jeremiah Wonders.
Yeah, we'll see. That'd be awesome. But dude, I love you. Thank you so much for being on the show and rolling with the punches of the
With
the format of the some call it nonsense.
I gotta warn people now. Have you done Jeremiah's podcast? Well, there's gonna be some phone calls, just air quotes. A lot of phone calls.
There's a lot of phone. You know what's funny is people dig the phone call. Bobby Lee. One of the questions that kept coming up is, do you have a favorite Bobby Lee story?
Oh my God. I have so many Bobby Lee things. Bobby Lee and I actually became close when we were in the Middle East together.
Really?
Yeah, he was so bored. He's such a character, he just is neurotic, so he went and bought a Xbox. So he bought an Xbox in the other country, and then that's how we started, because we would just be in his room playing FIFA, and that's how we just got close. Just roaming around the Middle East.
What's one of the weirdest things he's done to you or pranked you?
He doesn't. I think I'm too big for him to be trying to do that, because I'll just punch him. You know what I mean? I know he likes to do that a lot. He likes to do that a lot to comics that he's gonna bring on the road, or he threatens.
He's done some weird stuff.
He acts weird like
road.
that, but he doesn't do that stuff to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But he is quite a character, but he's literally one of my best friends in the whole wide world.
Yeah, you guys play video games a lot together.
Yeah, I play video games a lot. I've been on this podcast a couple times. He's just a great dude. Bobby is a great dude. He's crazy, but he's a great dude.
Yeah. So check out Erik on Tiger Belly, and then check out Showtime's I'm Dying Up Here Season 2 coming up in the spring before we know it.
May 6th, everybody.
May 6th, everybody. Love you, bro. I'll see you soon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, is that a phone call? I'm kidding.
Oh, wait, no, we could. We could. Who's calling in? No, I would love for, who is it? Hello, caller?
Why did I even say that?
No, we were almost out. Hello? Is this somebody that's calling in? I'm so excited right now. I didn't even hear it. We almost stuck the landing and everything on this podcast.
The landing gear was out.
The wheels were out on that plane.
The stewardess was sitting in the jump seat. No, we're gone. And good night.
Good night.